All right, welcome back to another episode of The Borough Sound, recording live here at the UUI Collective. I am your host with the most, DJ Czar, aka Big Turk, aka George Czar, aka Young Pad Thai. And today we are very lucky and happy to be joined by a special guest today. She has amassed over 394,000 followers on TikTok with over 8 million likes. She's recorded music with the likes of Tory, Lanez, Pressa, and Movado. The astrology mommy herself, Melxdie in the building.
Yo, what's good?
Yo.
That was like the biggest intro I've ever heard.
I hyped you up.
AKA. I love that. Pad
Yo,
Thai.
I have bare nicknames. I love Pad Thai, so I had to add that to the list.
Same.
But yo, thank you for coming through.
Thanks for having me.
You know, I have a lot of respect for what you do.
Thank you.
And honestly, like, I actually did take in the music. The music was proper. You know, I'm a little biased because, like, you're half Arab, I'm half Arab, so I'm like...
Are you actually?
Yeah, I'm half Syrian,
say a word.
half Turkish. And
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Damn.
And you're Peruvian on your father's side and Lebanese on your mom's side?
Yeah. Well, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
Damn, you stalked me,
bro. I did my research.
You know too much.
I did bare research. So would you say those cultural influences kind of play a role in your music? Because you're kind of like Shakira's half Arab, half Latina too, no?
Yeah, I think
you kind of give
like,
me Shakira vibes.
I think she's Lebanese and Colombian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
she's lit.
Do you draw any influences, whether it's like stylistically or the type of music from either of those cultures?
Yes, for sure. For sure. Definitely like the last song that we did, it's like it had like the elements of like a very like Incan flute, which is like native Peruvian like culture. Mm-hmm. And so we tried to make it kind of that vibe, and we tried to make like the single cover and everything like Incan like letters and everything, just to like bring out the elements of like Peru. Mm-hmm. But also I'm trying to put more elements of like Arabic in my music because I don't want to like touch on that too, because I feel like I haven't done that yet, and I'm trying to experiment, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel like with mixed kids, like you eventually like lean towards one side more, like you're more knowledgeable. Like for me, I'm more Turkish than I would say Syrian in terms of like I know more of the language, I know more of like the songs and the culture, and I feel like that's like a common thing. Mm-hmm. So yo, I want to kind of start at the beginning. Because, you know, there's so many people who want to be artists, you know what I'm saying? People, like, look at you and be like, yo, that's, like, my dream career.
Do people actually say that?
Probably, like, not to me personally, but maybe in their heads, you know?
Like, you're gassing me, fam.
I feel like, yeah.
A little bit too much.
Yo, but real talk, like, what was the formula? Like, how did you get to the point where you're at now, where, you know, you've amassed, like, a decent following, you're able to create in, like, a seeming, like, free manner, like, you can kind of create whatever, like, how did you start making music?
Honestly, I started making music, and I always tell the story, and every time I tell it, I'm like, wow, I was such a dumbass back in the day, because this was actually not, like, safe at all. But, like, I started doing music when I moved out of my house, and, like, I was always really shy as a kid. Mm-hmm. So when I moved out, I was like, you know what? Screw it. Like, no one's holding me back. There's no one that I'm like kind of afraid to sing in front of, like living like alone now. And then I literally looked up on Kijiji, like people who are looking for female vocalists. I was like 18 years old.
On
like,
Kijiji?
Like straight up, like fresh 18, like looking up on Kijiji, like anybody need a female vocalist? I literally, the first person to message me back, I went to their house. And I like recorded.
Wait, how old were
for
you
the
at this
first time.
point?
I was 18.
Oh
and I recorded for the first time, and like it was lit from that moment on. Like we just started making music. But now that I think about it, I could have easily just gone to a serial killer's house and then just like got murdered.
So ladies, you heard it. If you want to start doing music, just go to a stranger's house, put an ad on Kijiji, and just go from there.
Be fearless. That's my point.
And then did that end up being like an actual like song that you recorded? Like was it or was it sketchy? Like
it was like kind of sketchy, but also at the same time, like I learned so much throughout that like summer of like just making music. So I wasn't doing anything that summer. I genuinely was just in the studio every single day with this person, just like creating and making music, and it was a good place for me to kind of get to know myself. Then from there I just kept evolving and evolving, but it was a really good experience.
So, and you said by the time you had reached 18 you were already comfortable singing. So were you like singing your whole life, like as a kid, like throughout?
Like I was actually shy.
So you just started at 18 or like kind of like around there? Interesting.
Yes, yeah.
And like, who were your early influences like musically?
My dad, because my dad was a singer, but he was like he's a phenomenal singer.
Okay.
And so I always felt this like he was a very critical person, so I always felt like very nervous to sing in front of him because he would always like correct me or like whatever, but he was trying to make me better, but you know I was just like wouldn't sing. And then when I moved out I was like, okay, like I'm just gonna do this. Like, no one can tell me what to do anymore. I'm just gonna go try this. And I tried it, and I was like, oh shit, like I love this. Like this is my shit.
So you just kind of wanted to do it. It wasn't like a planned thing where you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna release 5 songs a month, and then like you just like, I'm gonna make music.
It was super impulsive.
And then you just never stopped?
Impulsive. No.
Oh, okay. You're impulsive?
I'm impulsive. And it was so impulsive for me to do that. And then I was just like, oh no, I love this. And then I just kept doing it. And I'm still doing it. And I'm like, also like, how did I get here?
Yeah. Well, you know? how do you make it? So was it always like a full-time thing? Like how long would you say you've been doing it full-time?
For 4 years.
4 years.
How old am I? I'm 23.
You're 23?
18 to 23. 5 years. I've been doing it for 5 years.
Jordan year, 23. It's a big year.
You already know. That's what it is. Facts.
How do you celebrate going into 23?
That's a good question. Oh, I didn't even celebrate, to be honest, because I was shooting a music video, but I was shooting like 5 music videos, which is coming out this year.
Grind don't stop, bro. On her birthday, bro. What? You guys don't want it bad enough.
Like through my whole entire birthday week, we were like filming and like we finally finished. And by that time I was like, I don't even want to celebrate. And then like a week later I did like a little thing where, my people threw me a surprise party, which was really cute. But
that's dope.
Yeah, but that's what I was doing on my birthday, which was a good like way because it was like, this is what I want for my year to look like, is to be busy in music, like on this degree, like of like making music videos and like making good music and like having fun and like working because I like work.
Yeah.
So and being creative and all that. So it felt like a really good way to start 23.
I was gonna ask because I think especially for art, especially you're able to do it full time. I'm sure it does feel like work and there's like a stress and a load, but you also love what you do. So like talk to us about the process of this studio. Like what's your favorite part of the recording process? Are you there like helping with the beat too, or do you just kind of show up? Do you write on the spot?
Damn. I feel like it's different with different people. That's also something that I've noticed. When I work with different people, there's like different vibes and dynamic and like ways that people work. But usually what like the people that I work with, we like get in the studio together. They usually have like a beat ready, or we'll like create a beat together, or they'll send me a beat and I'll be like, hey, let's work on this and like build on from this. But usually we just like, my favorite part is just writing. My favorite part is writing with people who just like love to be hype as fuck in like the room and just are like hyping each other and like ideas are just flowing because like the creativity is just flowing. So that's like my favorite part about it. The recording part, maybe not so much because like I'm a Virgo, I'm a perfectionist. And like every time I'm like, no, this one, like I have to do it again, we have to do it again. And sometimes I can get a little bit annoying. I'm definitely not like a recording artist. I feel like I'm more of like a live performing artist. Like I enjoy lives or like enjoy the writing process, but the recording process is very like, it's a lot of fun, but it's like, I'm just crazy.
Let me redo that. Can I hear that back? Yo, no, delete that. No, I'll do better. Like, and you're out of breath by like the 20th take.
Literally, I'm like, we have to do this again. And they're like, no, there's 30 takes. There's definitely something in here. Just like come in and then like we'll comp it or whatever. So yeah.
You give me the vibe that like you also write lyrics without music. Like, do you just write poetry too? Or is it always like you need a beat kind of thing?
I think I've gotten more comfortable over time writing on a beat, but I used to write a lot of poetry. Not so much anymore, but I do write poetry. But I do enjoy like writing on a beat. And I'm the type of person also to come up with the melody first before I come up with like the lyrics
words
and stuff like that.
Okay,
yeah. But a lot of people don't work that way. A lot of people like to write and like, you know, but I'm like, no, we have to like lay down some melodies and then we'll find like a hit melody and then we'll like work on that.
As I've gotten older, I think I've realized like that approach, it's a lot more free. Whereas like when you writing words, you're like stuck with these words. You got to fit it into the beat. Whereas when you're kind of just flowing, you can find words around the melody. It's a lot easier.
And then you kind of sound like you're like saying gibberish in the melody, because in melodies, you know, sometimes you freestyle something and sometimes that can lead you into something, because like when you're just vibing with the beat, you kind of can start telling a story even through a melody without the lyrics first, because sometimes the lyrics can be really daunting, but when you have the melody, then lyrics can just like flow in.
It's like the melody writes the words for you in a way.
Exactly.
Okay,
so that's how I like
it. So you're 18 doing features with strangers in their basement, Kijiji.
Fire.
How did you get from there? How did you, because I mean the first song I seen, I think released on your Spotify, I'm sure you released other songs before, but it was with Pressa. So like how did you go from that to eventually collaborating with Pressa and then Tory Lanez and Movado? Like did you somewhere along the way, like did you find management or like representation, or how did that work?
Yeah, I remember being in my room and like looking up like how artists are taken seriously in the industry. Because I knew that like as an artist, like going to people and being like, hey, I have music, like they weren't gonna take me seriously.
Yeah, like everyone has music now.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I need to find like a manager. And then I found someone who was the right fit at the time. And like we started, working together. This person had a lot of connections. So this person actually is the person who got me in touch with like Pressa and Tory and everything. And then it worked out. And then as my team grew and built, that's how we got like Movado and everything. And then, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were those like recording sessions like together? Were they remote? Was it like, yo, you send me your verse, I'll send you mine? Were you like in the studio with that?
With Pressa, it was like I had the music already done. I actually had like all the verses done. It was a finished song, but then I took out the second verse and then I opened it for Pressa.
Oh, okay.
And then Pressa like came on and he did it, but I wasn't with him. We shot the music video together, but I think he was in BC at the time when he recorded it. Mm-hmm. And then with Tory Lanez, he came through. He had a show at Rebel.
Okay.
And like, I don't remember what year it was. I think it was like 2018 or whatever. He had a show at Rebel. And I was chasing this man down.
You're chasing Tory Lanez down?
Chasing this man down. Because he had a show. Mm-hmm. And then he was, actually before the show, he was going to come and lay down the verse in the studio. Oh, okay. But shit kind of got crazy. And then he had the show. And then after he had an after party. So then after the after party, at this point it was like 4 a.m.
After the after party?
Yeah.
Okay.
At 4 a.m. he came to the studio and he laid down his verse. And then the next day we shot a little bit of the music video.
What was it like seeing his process? Because I feel like he's such a professional artist in the sense where it's like, he's on, like, it doesn't take him too many takes kind of thing. Like, what was it like seeing him in the studio like that?
It was cool. It was a little bit daunting, to be honest.
Like intimidating?
At that point I was like just starting out and I was like 19 years old, like seeing all of these people and seeing someone that I used to listen to like in high school and everything and like seeing them in front of me. I'm like, oh shit, like here we are, But he came in and he was just like, this is what I want on my vocals. This is whatever. He came in very professional and like he came in, he ran it, he freestyled. He didn't even write. He literally got in the booth, freestyled 3 or 4 times. And then he was like, I want that, and then put it in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like really like in and out, but it was incredible to watch that process. And I was like, damn, like I want to be like that one day. I want to be able to do that.
Have you ever tried that? Do you ever just like freestyle on beats and then write around that? Or do you still, I feel like as a Virgo, you probably like to sit with it and like, like perfect it a little bit? Or do you ever do the freestyling thing like in the booth?
Yes, definitely. Okay. But that's where like melodies come from. And then like lyrics can like flow with that. But I do that. It's not always good.
Every time I hear you say melodies, like, do you ever just like be like, "Yo, that's my name"?
Yeah, that's my name. Maybe that's why I'm good at making melodies because that's my name. Lyrics, sometimes we struggle sometimes, but lyrics do flow better when there is a melody, and that's probably because that's my name.
Okay.
Facts. You're right. Got me deep thinking and shit.
Yo, so okay, you're doing the music, and then simultaneously, are you doing TikTok? Like, because the TikTok thing is like its own thing, and that kind of blew up even differently. Like, was that something you expected? Was your TikTok initially like to promote your music, or were you always on the astrology? Like, how did the TikTok emerge?
The TikTok was kind of a joke. Like, COVID started. Actually, no, I was in Florida for the very first time and I just got new managers and my new management, we were set up and we were like, okay, we're going to Florida because my manager had one of his artists who's a producer there and he worked with like Brick and Lace and he worked with I Am the Chemist, which is one of my producers. Okay. And he was like, I want you to meet them. They're like really great. And so we got in the studio, had a really good time. And then his niece came and was teaching me like Renegade, like the TikTok that, Renegade. You do you know that TikTok? It was like the very OG like dance. Like,
okay, challenge. Hopefully I could play a clip of it.
It was lit and it was really hard to learn. I was like, yo, what the heck is this? Like, what is TikTok? I don't understand. And then she taught me the dance and I'm like, yo, this is so fun. Like, this is whack. And then throughout that like entire trip, then I started making TikToks. And then when I got home, I was just like, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna like talk some shit. And then I was just like talking about different signs and like how they how they are when they're angry. I think I got into a fight with a friend and I was just like, yo, I'm just gonna come on here and just like be like petty a little bit and just like roast the zodiac signs just now. And then that's what I did. And then people were dying for, like, they were laughing at it and they loved it. And a lot of people were fighting me in the comments, but you know, it was getting traction. And then that video went viral. And then I was like, oh shit, like I actually need to learn about astrology now because like people are gonna fact check me and like people like this. So I'm like clearly gonna keep doing that. And then as that kind of like helped me grow, then I was like, okay, now I'm gonna start like putting out more music and more dance and like more things that like all represent me. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, because I feel like the TikTok success that's a lot, and then the music success is a lot. Do you feel like some people like you for only the astrology stuff, some people want more music, like, or do you feel like you're able to blend the two?
Sometimes people are just like just the astrology and some people are like just the music, but some people are like both, which is really cool. And I'm trying to mold the two.
Those are the diehards.
But the thing nowadays is like people aren't really so crazy about music. It's really more like people buying into you. You know what I mean? Like people can love your music and everything, but like what makes you different and what makes you stand out? And a lot of the time, like me personally, if like Kendrick Lamar was on a stage, I would not have to listen to any of his songs. He could like paint on a wall and I would just be engaged. I'd be like, yo, it's Kendrick Lamar painting on a wall. That's kind of how I want people to be with me, but that takes a lot of trust and like, you know, time. That's
a good point though, because when people are really just rocking with the person, then you release merch, they'll want it. You release music, you're in a movie, like they're just going to support the person versus, oh, I only like when you rap, I only like when you sing. Then it's like a conditional, like,
because your music is like a byproduct, but you're the actual product. Like, you know what I mean? You're selling yourself. Like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of how you have to look at it.
And then do you feel like showing more of your personality on TikTok also like brought the fans closer to you, gave them like a better insight into who you were? Because I feel like with musicians, sometimes you want to keep that aura of mystery. Like you don't want to say too much. You want to be too out there. You want to have this like aura of like being exclusive or like, you know, hard to reach. But then with TikTok, it's like you have to be transparent. That's like the key to success to that.
True. Yeah, I feel like times are changing. It's that weird like middle between like being mysterious and also like being super relatable. And like people like both. There is a balance to it though, because yeah, you do kind of have to be a little bit mysterious, but also being relatable and like down to earth for people to feel like they can relate to you. Because nobody wants to be like, oh, like how we used to like idolize people. Yes, it's really cool, but like that's like the world is kind of changing now, and we're kind of just want to feel connected to people instead of like being like, oh my God, like they're our God. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I'm just not that person. Like, don't look at me like that. I'm your friend. You know. You know.
Okay, so yo, now like, are you like well into astrology? Like you're like knowledgeable about it, or is it kind of like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I would feel so.
So I actually have my birth chart here, and I just wanted my birth chart.
Your birth chart?
Yeah, I brought my birth chart.
I'm screaming.
Okay, so this is my sun, moon, Mercury stuff. This is like my rising and stuff.
Oh shit.
And yo, I want you to explain houses for me, but like, what can you tell me about me based on that? Because yo, I'm big on astrology. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't lie, I believe in it, you know. I was a little skeptical at first, but when you really get into it and you go past the sun sign stuff, like, bro, shit is accurate. I don't know what to say.
Damn.
We already know Borough Sound about to get a reading, you know what I'm saying?
I'm screaming.
Mel.
You're a stellium in Libra.
Yo, explain that. I don't even know what stellium is, to be honest.
A stellium means like when you have like 3 placements in the same sign.
Oh, yeah. Bare Libra energy here, so.
A Libra energy that you're given. And your moon's in Pisces, so you're like very sentimental and like very sensitive. Sensitive baby boy. That's what a moon sign is. Very emotional. He's like, no, cut the cameras. Cut the cameras.
We'll edit that out.
Venus in Libra actually means you're a great lover because Libras are the rulers of Venus, which is like sex and romance. So good for you. Jupiter in Sag, which also means you're a very lucky person because like Saturn is
Sag is ruled by Jupiter, right?
Jupiter is ruled by Sagittarius. Yeah. So that's really cool. Mars is like passion and like aggression, and that's in Scorpio. And Scorpios tend to be like people who like sting, but they're very passionate people. So when you feel a way about something, you're very passionate about it. You know what I mean? Like you're ready to argue very passionately, but like Scorpios don't argue in a way where they raise their voice. It's more like they're looking deep into your soul. Yeah. And like just like cussing you off without even
low blows and shit.
You know? Yeah, that's kind of what it is.
Yo, okay, I have a question. So with the houses, like, what do the houses mean? So it's like, oh, my son is in my 6th house. Like, what does that mean? Like, I never understood that stuff.
I need the wheel because, like, I kind of don't know all of them by heart. But I know that, like, your son is in your 6th house. I don't really know.
Okay. Soft. No, I should have gave you the wheel still.
I need the wheel, but if I had the wheel, then I could tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's proper.
Y'all can get me a wheel. I'll read it just now. But anyway.
Okay. So I might have to get you the wheel.
Yeah, give me the wheel.
But okay, so based on the chart, like
you have a pretty good chart.
Pretty good chart.
Yeah, you have a good chart. Like it's like
no red flags.
I would say the red flags are always going to be Pisces. I'm just, but like no, you know what? Libras are. Oh shit, my hair stuck to my eyelash. That was wild. Libras are like very like always seeing two sides.
Yeah.
And Pisces are the two fish swimming in different directions. Mm-hmm. So I feel like you're always channeling all the perspectives and very confused. Mm-hmm. Maybe lack a little bit of clarity. I feel like I say this a lot. Libras and Pisces are just like living in their own worlds. Like you're definitely in a different dimension.
Yeah.
You're not here. You're a hallucination.
Yeah.
Like you're vibing. But like that's what Libras and Pisces are. Also some of the most creative signs. Also Scorpio. So you have a very like creative driven, art driven. So it's no surprise that you do what you do.
Little creativity, little chaos, you know what I'm saying? Little imagination, little fantasy, you know what I'm saying?
We love that here.
And you're Virgo sun. What's your moon?
Cancer.
Cancer moon, and then you're rising?
Cancer.
Oh, so you bear water. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, that helps with music.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm super emotionally like driven.
How does being Cancer moon and Cancer rising, how does that play out in like personal relations? Like, do you feel like partners like feel like the weight of dealing with like water signs? Like,
I'm just like an extreme nurturer, like a nurturer.
That's nice.
Yeah, but then you attract narcissists.
Oh, like you want to save them kind of thing? Like you want to like fix them?
The savior complex. Yeah, I have a savior complex. So people love that and then take advantage of it. So that's kind of sucks. But
do you still do it? Sounds like you kind of
still do it. No, I 1000% can't help it.
You sound into this.
It's my essence. I can't help it, but it's just sometimes it attracts the wrong energy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So is that something like you consciously want to change, or you're like, I'll just keep going through it. I like it.
No, I'm trying to consciously change. I feel like the thing with astrology that people get so messed up is that like people will be like, oh, it's because I'm a Libra, or like, oh, it's because I'm a Virgo, like that type of stuff. But like, no, like just because your sign is like one thing doesn't mean like you should stay there. Like you constantly need to like try and evolve it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Facts.
I don't know if you'll understand this, but in my houses, in my 10th house, which rules like security and like consistency and like being able to
like stability and stuff.
Stability, but also being someone who's like determined and like what do you call it when someone's disciplined?
Okay.
Like you're disciplined. It rules kind of like discipline in career and whatever. Even though I'm a really hard worker, because Virgos are really hard workers, in my 10th house, it's Taurus. It's placed in Taurus. And Taurus is known to be a very lazy, more chill sign. Yeah. So I have to work extra hard to be more disciplined and overcompensate because I do have a tendency to be a little bit laid back sometimes. So these are things that it's like, okay, I have to be mindful of this because I do this a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yo, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. More with Mel on the Burrow Sound. Stay tuned. All right. Welcome back to the Burrow Sound. Here with Mel. Back again. You know what I'm saying? We actually got the wheel. So I'm trying to get my houses analyzed, you know what I'm saying, by Mel. So what's good on that?
Mel, take the wheel. Okay. So it says, so your Libra is in your 6th house.
So what's the 6th house?
6th house rules health, fitness, analytical nature, pets, work habits, organization, sense of usefulness, and service given.
I work out a little bit.
A little bit. A lot? A little bit?
Yeah, like quite a bit.
Quite a bit?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Well, Libras are all about balance. Mm-hmm. So in that sense, do you find that you're a balanced person?
Now I think, because I used to be like a bigger dude. I lost like 50 pounds like when quarantine first started. So now I feel like exercise is like a stabilizing force. It gives me balance because I find I do more things in excess. Like I feel like I go on benders and stuff. Like I'll like have like a phase of just like hedonism and just like getting whatever, and then like escapism pretty much. And I operate more between extremes where it's like I won't do anything or like I'll be lit. You know what I'm saying? Like either one or the other. Like I find it hard to actually balance, to be honest.
I find that all Libras do.
Yeah.
I find that Libras crave balance, but it's like they don't have it as much as they want it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But they do represent the balance.
I do think we seem a lot more balanced than we actually are. Like, I feel most Libras I know have some kind of like addictive tendency, or like, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of like inclination towards like not abusing stuff, but you know what I'm saying, overdoing stuff. Like,
well, that's like the whole thing, right? Like Libras, they're all about balance. So a lot of the time, because you guys are about balance, you guys are gonna face a lot of extremes because you're meant to balance them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then you're
yeah.
at your optimal when you're balanced. But it takes
which is
time,
like
and
once
it's
a
hard.
month or something. Like,
It's hard for everybody, but yeah, definitely. Like if it's balanced, you'll just feel a lot better. But it's normal also for it to be.
are there signs that you get along with more, like always, like consistently?
As a Virgo?
Yeah, or like even because you're like also like you said Cancer rising, Cancer moon, like or like just in general, like are there certain signs that like
I just get along with.
yeah,
like,
you're drawn
instantly?
towards more, they're drawn towards you more, like always?
Pisces and Cancers.
Okay, is it like
All
a
the
water
time.
sign thing, you think?
No, I think because Pisces are like the opposite of Virgos. So
That's
every
the opposite
sign,
one?
every sign has an opposite. So
Oh, okay.
Libra's opposite is
Aries.
Aries.
Yeah.
So I'm really drawn to Pisces, and I feel like I click with them a lot because I feel like in a lot of ways they're like me, just on a different spectrum of like emotional, whereas I'm more like grounded and rational in ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a different perspective, but it is very similar. So yeah.
What I liked about Virgos is that y'all, I feel like y'all really, if you have a craft or like a particular passion, you study it like day in, day out, like almost obsessively.
Yellow.
I find that it's once like Virgos find like their purpose, they're like obsessed about it, and like they want to be perfectionists about it, you know?
Very OCD.
Yeah.
It's kind of whack.
But I also think it produces like great results, because you kind of need that like tension, that kind of like striving for perfection to yield like
That's
something
true.
that's like above average, you know?
That's true. I feel like that's very like reflected, especially in like artists of like the Virgos, because like look at Beyonce and Michael Jackson. Like they're two Virgos, but also there are some of the. Feel like they were some of the hardest working artists, because Beyonce, even when she started, like there was a lot of things that happened to her and the come up of her, but like where she is now, it's because she worked so hard, and Michael Jackson too. So yeah, I feel like Virgos are like really hard workers.
You know, Michael Jackson's also Pisces moon, you know what I'm saying?
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Me, him, Kim Kardashian.
Really?
Yeah, big
Damn,
three.
look at you.
Yeah,
Shit.
just us
amongst
three.
the greats.
Yeah.
Jeez, you will go. Jeez.
No, but I do. Do you feel like balancing? Because okay, like for me, like as an artist, like if I amass like where you are at right now, I would feel like okay, I'm like somewhat successful, like compared to where I'm at now. Do you feel like with that you're gonna, you know, you're gonna work harder, but do you feel like there's like a mental health cost to? I don't want to say fame or popularity, but you know, like once you like kind of work your way up the ranks, like do you feel like there is now like a new stress in your life that you may not have had pre-success?
Well, a little bit.
Do you get recognized and stuff, for example? Or
yeah,
like,
I have actually recently a couple times.
How do you deal with it? You seem like you'd be cool about it.
No, I'm still in the phase where it's like it happened only a couple times, so I think
Okay,
it's
okay.
really fucking cool. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like they just notice me. What the heck?
That's like every time.
Because you
like,
put
yes.
so much work into things, and then like when people are like, "Oh my god, I know that girl," like, you know, or like, "Oh my god, like did you see her?" And like that's really cool. Like I find that so cool to me, because it's like, what, like, you know, I used to be so invisible, and like now people are like, "Oh, I noticed her," and like, you know, probably the purple hair, but yeah, I feel like that's very something.
I'm rocking with the hair still. Is purple like? Do you switch it per season, or it's been purple like
No, it's gonna stay purple
forever?
It's gonna stay purple for a while. Yeah, I think so.
What would you, if you had to change the color, like if purple wasn't there, like what color would you choose as secondary?
I would go back to brown.
Back to brown, natural?
Yeah, like dark brown hair. My natural hair, yeah.
Okay.
But the purple's gonna stay for a while. I feel like she's serving her purpose. You know what I mean? But I feel like back to your last question, or you were saying something like, what's hard?
Yeah, like is there like like a stress that comes with it?
I would say like I'm like, because I'm a perfectionist, and also because I have a lot of Cancer placements, I'm also very hard on myself. And not so much people being mean to me, Because like that, I mean, like you can't control.
Yeah.
But like I have been very like hard on myself about things. Like I'll post something and then I'll be talking horribly to myself, like negative self-talk. And then I'll convince myself to take it down. That happens a lot. But like that's just like a self thing. But I think nothing really stresses me out more than I probably do. But I feel like the universe has always protected me. Like people always say like, oh, you're the starving artist. But like I feel like I'm okay. And that whole idea of like making it and being successful, like once I'm there, it's over. And then what? You know what I mean? So I feel like a lot of people are always so focused on like getting there and getting there and getting there and getting to the peak of them. But then like once you're there, like what happens after? And like I feel like the whole journey to that is like something you have to be so present for and so like grateful for, because it's like you're in it. So just enjoy it. Yeah. Because it'll happen when it happens. And then when it happens, like you're on to the next thing. So just like have gratitude and be present. So that's what I've had to learn.
Yeah. It seems like you have like a good grasp of the nature of happiness, because you already know like, oh, I could reach like my goals. I could hit this pinnacle, but then what? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't even acknowledge that. They feel like that is it. Once I hit $1 million, or once I do this, or once I have a song with this person, I'm on. But like a lot of people achieve those goals and then they still feel empty, or they still have like the same unresolved issues that they had when they were struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Actually, during like the times when I made like music with like, was making music with like Pressa and Tory, Lanez and Mapato, it was one of the lowest points in my life. Like I was really depressed and I was going through a lot of things. And like now I'm like kind of rebuilding and like creating a foundation and like I found out who I am and like I'm working towards that, but I also am probably in the best mental state that I've ever been, even though I'm not doing those things like anymore, which is like it's interesting, because in those moments it's like it seems like you have it all together and all figured out, but that wasn't really the case. And I think it's the same for a lot of artists too.
Did you have to like take a step back to kind of like figure out who you were and like heal or whatever, process? So you had to kind of step back from the artistry and like self-reflect kind of? Yeah,
I stepped back for like 6 months. I like stopped everything.
You didn't post nothing? Like on TikTok or IG?
No.
Were your friends like, yo, like what's going on?
Like everything dropped off for me. Like I literally like fell off the face of the earth. Yeah, and I had to clear everything out and then slowly start to reintroduce things again, and then like get my feet going and like rebuild a foundation. Now I'm at a part where my foundation is built, so now I'm just building on top of it. But like I didn't have that before, and like it took everything to fall away for me to like rebuild properly.
So once you created some kind of distance between you and like, I guess the social media connection, like what were you doing? Were you journaling a lot? Were you like exercising? Were you hanging out with friends? Like what was the process of, okay, yo, I'm gonna like off this IG and TikTok stuff. Now like I have to focus on this, that. Like what were the actions you took?
In that moment of like being taking a break?
Yeah, when you were taking a break.
When I took a break, I was literally just like depressed and like in my shit. But then it took like a minute of being in that to be like, snap out of it, bro. Like snap out of it. Like you have it going for you. Like you have the people now, like get it together and like step into your power again. And that's exactly what I did. And then ever since then, like you have moments of like self-doubt and all of those things, but I had to go through that to really like appreciate now. Cause I don't think I necessarily appreciated what was happening before, or I didn't understand it, or I didn't feel like it didn't feel aligned or true. And now it's like I'm rebuilding that. So it feels good.
I feel like that, like, I don't even know you like that, but that process sounds like it matured you, because you're only 23, but like it seems like, you know, like you've seen a lot of things, or like you've experienced a lot already, and you've been able to like reflect on that, because you seem like you're at peace with like, you know, like that process and everything.
Yeah, it took time. But yeah, we're good.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
Kio, I have like a quick little rapid fire section, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuego rápido, you know what I'm saying? Rapid fire. I don't even know if that made sense, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, what is your favorite Lebanese food?
Tabbouleh.
Tabbouleh?
Yeah.
Okay, tabbouleh can go on. Iced or hot coffee?
Iced coffee.
Signs you don't get along with?
Shit. That's so hard. Aquarius.
Aquarius?
But I do like them though.
They just don't like you?
I just don't feel like we connect.
Like every
we're both
time?
just so detached. Like Virgos and Aquariuses are so detached from me. Like from like feet. Like just.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it just doesn't like ever mesh?
Not really.
Okay.
Sometimes, but there's Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. And
that's an Aquarius
so
Virgo?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's the Aquarius?
Alicia.
And Virgo is
Swizz.
Okay.
Yeah.
God damn it!
You know?
No, that was like Swizz beat out of it. Okay. If you had to trade places with someone for a day, it'd be
My dog.
your
I
dog.
just want to see what's popping in his brain. Sometimes I look at him like, what the frick is going on in there?
Yeah, I
You
feel
know?
that's. I feel the
I
same
feel like
way
that's
with
such a
cats,
shitty
too.
answer, to be honest.
I did say person, but like a dog is technically like a being.
I feel like I should have said something so much cooler, like a shaman in the forest, or like, you know,
You could change your answer.
I might.
All right,
A shaman in the forest.
a shaman in the
A
forest.
shaman, that would be sick. Imagine. Or like a monk. That'd be cool.
A monk.
Yeah.
Just to see like what.
How at peace they are.
I don't know. I feel like you'll just be like, damn, like I'm hungry right now. I got to go into
Maybe
the city to
true.
ask
Do they not
the
eat?
locals for food.
Monks, they don't eat.
Not like what they do is like they meditate all day and then they'll go to like the city and ask locals or like citizens for food. And if they don't get food, they're just like, all right, I guess I'm fasting today.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but they offer like spiritual
But it's
wisdom
just for
and
a
stuff.
day, right?
Nah, bro, that's
But
a
I would
lifestyle.
do that. No, but if it was just a day, like if I could be someone for a day.
Yeah, it would be like 24
I'd like
hours,
to
like
see
Freaky
it.
Friday. Like
I'd like
the
to
movie.
see it for just a light. I could go a day. I could
Okay,
go a day.
okay.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Current favorite song that you're listening to,
Current favorite
like
song that
a
I'm
one
listening
song,
to.
like one song.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Hours and Hours by Money Long.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Are you more coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Do you drink coffee every day?
Like I'm trying to quit, but like I'm struggling.
I quit coffee once. You actually have withdrawals. Like you have a headache for like 2 weeks straight.
You feel like a crack addict.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
what the hell is happening? Why do I have a headache? I'm so cheesed. Like, just it's not good.
I feel like Virgos are mad. I know you say your Taurus is in that house where you're not like too disciplined, but I feel like Virgos are pretty like they're either super messy or like very orderly, or even when they're messy, there's
I
like
was telling this to Tamara the other day. I'm an organized mess.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
look like I have my shit together. I don't. I don't have my shit together.
You're not a clean freak.
Like I am a clean freak, but like I let things pile up to be so messy, and then I'll clean it all together, and then I'll be like kind of
okay.
OCD for a couple weeks about it. Like everything needs to be in a place, and then it's like a mess again.
It's like death and rebirth kind of thing.
Constant.
Okay,
It's
okay.
exhausting.
Yo, bro, you actually look like Shakira. Do you ever get that? Do people ever tell you that? Or like Britney Spears a little bit, but more like Shakira, like young Britney,
Brittany?
like young
Are
Britney.
you serious?
Yeah,
That's wild.
You never got that?
No, I've never gotten Britney in my life, but I've gotten
Am I
Alicia
the one that
Keys.
sees that?
I've gotten Alicia Keys, and I have gotten Shakira. I think for the hair. Yeah, Jessica Alba. I've gotten
I
that.
can see Jessica Alba.
Gotten what else?
I feel like it's the teeth that makes me think Shakira. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, you have like straight teeth.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. They're really sensitive though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like you
Like, why
guys
they're
look
so nice,
cute,
but
but
they're
you're
sensitive.
not. You're not a vibe. Yeah.
Okay. So, first of all, we're kind of approaching near the end, so I just want to thank you in advance for even, pulling up
Thank you for
and,
having me.
entertaining my convo or whatever. You're mad cool.
Thanks for having me, fam.
No problem. And, I'm sure like your fans are wondering, like, are you like gonna release anything soon? Do you have any like upcoming like projects? Like, where are you at with that?
Yes, I have a lot of projects coming up. I have an EP visual coming out this year, but I want to do a release party because of COVID. Like I haven't really been able to plan it yet. But I have an EP visual coming out. It's like a short film. It has like all my songs from my EP in the visual. So that's really exciting.
And it's a short film, like you're acting in it?
Yeah, there's like a lot of acting in it.
Oh, that's proper.
Yeah, it's super cool, and I'm glad because like it's a good story because it tells kind of my story in a way, and like I was very particular like with the people who are in it because they all kind of represent a different piece of me, and that's kind of portrayed throughout the story. And everyone who's in my life and an important piece in my life did take part in this, so it is very special to me. That's like one project, and then I have a bunch of music coming out. A goal of mine is to start releasing music every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
And then just not stop and just keep going. So, and then just keeping with social and everything. So I have a lot planned.
I like it. I feel like you're on like the right trajectory and
Thank
like,
you. Just consistency. I'm planning on moving to LA. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
There's goals. We have goals.
LA, what, by this year?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I think it's just time.
saying next time we do an episode, I'm gonna have to fly out to LA. You know what I'm saying? Bring the mics and stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'll
It's
pull up
time for
LA.
you too, fam. Let's
Yes.
go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, once again, thank you so much for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for tuning into the Borough Sound. Shout out to UUIN Collective. We're recording here. You know, make sure you subscribe, like the video, check out Mel's stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna put the links and stuff in the bio. And take care. Peace.
Thank you.
Whew.
Fire.
Yo, sorry, go back to your mic for a sec.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. How are you?